So today, for your view and pleasure, I wanted to actually talk to you about these two pieces of technology and automobile coming together. This is my 2018 Tesla Model S P100D. This is the brand new 2021 Tesla Model S. This is white on white. This is black on black. Her name is Ghost. Her name is Pepper. So it's Ghost Pepper. Get it? Yeah, I figured you did. Anyway, there's some things that I actually do want to point out, that not that you don't understand these cars already, because there's clearly enough videos about that. But what I do want to share with you are a few of the things that maybe you don't think about when you start talking about progress. See, these two cars are progress on another level. Well, today, I thought I'd kind of share some of those things with you and tell you what it's been like since I've been driving this one for a week. Check me out. So this is the 2018 P100D. Now, one of the interesting things about this car is that when I first got it, I had a teeny bit of range anxiety because, one, this had been my second Model S, but I wasn't really sure what the difference was. What would I experience? How would I even know that this thing would actually be better than the one that I had that was a 2013 model? Well, there was a lot of differences. Number one, yes, there were different battery sizes at this time of the production of this car. There was also the opportunity, between the size of your tires and your rims and how that impacted the drive range and all of that. But one thing that I do want to talk about is, how in the world do you get this, and what all types of things came in this particular one that you can still get right now? There's plenty of used ones out there. But what is it that is in here? And then contrast that towards the new and improved 2021 Model S long range. Well, let's get inside, and I want to point out a few different things. Now, one of the coolest things about owning this white on white is, number one, my wife was okay with having a white on white. And yes, we do have two boys, but they're in high school and now they finally have their own little putt to drive. However, the cool part is that I'm a car person, so I don't mind cleaning my car by hand. And the thing that I was more concerned about was, okay, can you keep white clean for very long before it starts to look dingy and dull? Well, I will tell you, in this 2018 that I didn't pick up until 2019, I'm going to tell you right now, this one still clean. Does not take too much to actually clean this car. And what's the coolest part is, it's not that hard to actually clean. You get a nice wipe. I like using things that don't have any toxic chemicals in it. So I use some Guard wipes that are absolutely incredible. It has been a great thing. Now, I do have a custom steering wheel. It is gone for repairs. The leather started to do a little bit of deterioration on my fault, user error. However, I've got the stock one in here right now. But I will tell you, the coolest thing that I like about this 2018 is, number one, it's sitting on 21s. I like to happen to have the larger size rims. It does have the Arachnid rims on it. But the other thing is the comfortability of this car. I kind of thought, maybe this wouldn't be as comfortable, driving around every day. But this is what really got me interested in using on a daily basis Autopilot. This particular car got me used to driving and understanding planning and charging. I mean, I've gone on multiple trips from Charlotte to the beach, to Atlanta, Georgia, to lots of different places with this car, and no issues whatsoever. Even from a battery degradation standpoint, right? Some people will say, well, this will be a problem and that will start to drop off. I have not had those issues. And to be quite honest with you, it does get a little cold here and it does get very hot here. I have not seen any issues whatsoever. Maybe I'm just the lucky guy on the planet, but I will tell you, it has been amazing driving this car and learning so much about the EV experience. Now let's talk a little bit about the quality of the build. So this is where I would say I have the biggest gripe with Tesla. So in the 2018, the P100D had a serious price tag. But I will also tell you at certain points and certain levels when it comes to paying for a car, you would expect a certain type of quality to come with that car. Now, don't get me wrong. The build has been pretty okay, but there's like little quirks and things that are really important when you start getting anywhere between $70,000 and $80,000 worth of car. Well, number one, this car still has a lot of plastic parts and different pieces that every now and then start to squeak. I mean, I've always heard that as a complaint, but until I really started experiencing it, didn't really realize that that was really going to be a thing. Is it annoying? Does it kill the drive and the experience? No, it doesn't. But it's just certain things that you start to notice over time. And yes, if you've ever read a tweet or talked to anybody who's actually, bought one of these, whether it's a S, 3, an X, or a Y, I'm going to tell you right now, they are going to probably talk about little things that they notice. Now, I'm going to actually mention a couple of big things that I noticed even on my 21. Yes, even on my 21, there are two big distinctive things that I found out recently after looking at it during the day with a few friends of mine. But I will tell you that the build quality is something that I will say is Tesla's downside. If I was to give this particular car a grade as far as build quality, I'm going to give it about a B plus. And it's a B plus because it is a luxury sports electric vehicle. But I will also say I can't give it an A because there's still a lot of plastic, there's still a lot of parts, and then eventually you can tell that there's certain things that just weren't fit properly during the assembly. And unfortunately, we as customers get to see it firsthand. Now, because many of us are used to phone updates, right? They're very small incremental value adds over time. Buying an electric vehicle, if the right company has done it well, what I've experienced with Tesla, their incremental updates actually improves the car, which to me actually improves the value of the car. So over the last 2.5 years of driving this car every single day as my main car, the interesting thing is between my wife and I have seen very major changes, but they kind of came over time. For example, the air ride suspension was a software update. The UI in the actual screen, huge software updates there. Software updates as it relates to the cameras, how you can use them, the ways you can use them. I mean, when I talk about real incremental value that is actually improving and increasing the value of the car, Tesla has that part right. Even full self-driving. You got to understand that full self-driving is nothing but a software update. So I want to kind of help you understand exactly what we're talking about. All right, so let's talk about this. So when this car was built, it was built with this thing called full self-driving. And as of shooting this today, there are many Tesla owners that are enjoying the new experience of having full self-driving, meaning I put in a destination and the car will get me there from door to door. Basically, Autopilot works on like highways. Full self-driving is surface street driving. The car will do all of the calculations in driving for you. I have to be honest with you, it's still a little scary. But when we talk about progress, here's what I mean. At the time of building this car, they have already installed something that years later would be unlocked. That is full self-driving. And so when I talk about progress, I want you to understand I'm driving a car that was built in 2018 that had the technology that wouldn't even be really available until 2021, that you could literally drive on surface streets, basically on autopilot. The fact that they were forward thinking enough to build a car this way to where the computer could be over time upgraded, I think is phenomenal. I mean, right now at the time of shooting this video, the used car market is skyrocketing. Mainly because new cars aren't being produced as fast and there's chip shortages and part shortages and all of those things. But get this, while the used car market might be high, it will come down. Technically speaking, as over-the-air software updates continue to improve your Tesla that you buy today at a certain price, it could actually increase the value over time because of what you have unlocked in the car. That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is a really great thing to see. And I'm just glad we live in this time. I mean, I want us to really think about what is happening with automobiles today. Look at your favorite automobile company right now, Ford, Chevy, Lexus, you name it. They have all put a stake in the ground and said from this day forward, we will be creating electric vehicles. Right now, someone actually just took hold of their brand new Rivian, which is the truck. I'm telling you, this time right now is amazing. But what's cool is that electric vehicles are literally in a space where, guess what? They will improve over time, and thus the value will improve due to an over-the-air software update, just like you get on your phone today. How cool is that? Now, of course, I love the way this car is built. I love the screen. I love the way it's positioned. I love everything about the way this car has been put together. But now let's go talk about what's new, what's different in the 21 Model S long range. So this is the 2021 Model S long range, and she's black on black. So this, welcome to Miss Pepper. I aptly known her, so I've got Ghost and Pepper, as I mentioned earlier. But of course, you know about the steering wheel yoke. You know about the interior. If you go back, and I actually reviewed a Plaid. Shout out to my boy EV Smoke. And you can see all of the new things there. We're actually reshooting a video with him because he's completely transformed that thing. Check that out for later. Obviously, they've done a lot of different things in here. Rotated the screen now, so the screen is definitely there. Obviously chopped off the top of the steering wheel. But I want to kind of talk about some other small nuanced differences that I learned about being inside of this car. Now, first and foremost, let's just talk about the interior. When I say a much improved interior, I am not kidding at all. The interior of this car, very, very well done, Tesla. I gotta give you credit because, man, there are just a lot of different things that you could have done. I was a little leery, but wow, what an improvement from an interior standpoint. This leather, absolutely amazing. In fact, what's kind of crazy is that getting all black, I mean, obviously, this should be able to hold up for quite a while. But the other thing that I actually like is I do like the contrast of the way the black is throughout the car. So you've got the Alcantara, and then you have the seats. Then you have the way the dash looks across with the black stitching. I felt like they did a good job. Sometimes when companies do blacks and different materials, they don't tend to add up right. This one, very well done. Now, as of owning this car for a week, the one big thing has been learning how to control the car and all the different controls while driving at the same time. Yes, missing the top as you're trying to turn the car, yeah, that gets a little bit of used to, but it's more about, hey, don't forget your driving signals are no longer stocks. Hey, remember that you do have automatic brightness on the car. Understanding what the two rotating buttons do. Also understanding how to use your voice, how to set autopilot. All of those things were the new things to get used to going from the 2018 that everything was pretty much on the stocks. This, no actual stocks. Everything is based on push button. So for example, if I'm driving and I want to start the autopilot, I have to press down. If I have my my destination put in, I press in, or what they would like to call a depress of the right hand button here, and autopilot automatically cuts on. Those little nuances is what you had to get used to when driving the car. A couple of improvements are the fact that I can literally move things around on the screen and actually, you know, they can go everywhere, which I think is a really, really cool thing. The other crazy part, now this is the crazy part to me, when you're driving and you're navigating somewhere, the way the screen looks in satellite mode, unreal. It is almost feels like it is real time, or like you almost want to see a car moving at real time speed. I mean, it is really well done. As you're getting close to like a traffic stop or an exit, it zooms in on its own, even on the screen in front of you. It is enough screen real estate that it's pretty hard to kind of like miss a turn or any of that stuff. They've done a very good job with the navigation and the UI experience on this particular screen. And remember, all of this can be improved based on a software update. It's freaking genius. Now, when you're talking about progress, charging has to be a part of the progress from a 2018 to this, right? Like you would not expect it to still be the same speed and the same amount of miles, right? Well, it's not. And the cool part is that I've been able to do this at home and just notice some difference. So for example, I never charge over 80% for my daily driving. That's just kind of the recommended standard, mainly because unless we're going, far away, then there's really no need to charge up to full every single evening. What I like about this is for those of us who still have a gas car, and yes, we still have one more gas car before we're fully electric, but guess what? Every night I come home, I plug it in, and I got a full tank of gas every morning, and I find that cool. But even in charging it to 80%, the thing I've been thinking about is, well, how many miles am I getting at 80% today than I would be getting in my P100D 2018 model? Well, man, I am super, super impressed by what you get. And just, again, those little things, and I'll post the pictures here so you can kind of see the difference. Those little improvements improve and increase the value of your car. Again, the time that you're going to have with it, the ability to be able to charge. And of course, with this particular charging system inside of this car, it takes to version 3 and version 2 superchargers like none other. It decreases the amount of time that you will spend at an actual supercharger. Why? Because they've improved the dynamics of the batteries. And the other cool part is that now, just at some point, I want you to realize this. You're going to get to a point where charging is going to be just as fast as you pumping gas into your internal combustion engine. I just find this incredible, and more importantly, I think it's much needed. The other thing I want to point out is, I don't know about you, but I don't get to drive in my back seat very often, meaning I don't get a chance to get back there and somebody else is driving. It's normally me, my wife, and I, or us and our kids. But I will tell you this, the backseat experience now with the new TV, I think is a great look by Tesla. I feel like they did a good job. Now, obviously, placement matters. Could they have put the TV screens in the headrest? Sure. Maybe that's an improvement that might be coming up. But I will tell you, I do like the way that the screen is there. I also like the fact that, they can control everything. Passenger seat rider can control everything in the back seat. And I think that's pretty cool too. Just think of like being in your SUV with your children and they want to watch a movie. Yes, it plays all throughout. I haven't figured out yet if I can have it to where they can be listening to a movie from that device, maybe by Bluetooth, and I can still listen to my music and things up here. I don't know. That would be a great software feature update, Tesla. Hint, hint. To be able to have them in the backseat and maybe there's a Bluetooth piece that they can connect their headphones to and they're listening to Netflix and watching it because it's in the back seat, and maybe I can continue to listen to my satellite Sirius XM radio or something like that. That would be a great improvement, especially given when you start talking about long car rides, those types of things. I hope that they do that, and again, that can all be done with a software update. So what is next for Miss Pepper? Well, a couple of things. One, I will be getting her wrapped. I'm doing a color change wrap. I'm only doing that because, one, I picked a really nice color. I can't wait for y'all to see that. But then also, I want to protect the original paint because at some point I may, get tired of my wrap and I want to take it off, and I want to make sure that what's underneath looks like it's brand new, right? Or at some point I may want to sell it and I just want to make sure that the paint is actually protected. So that's actually coming up here shortly. Hopefully I'll have it done here sometime soon. I'll make sure that I share that video with you as well. But then also I'll probably be doing some small things like adding some tint. I'll probably end up changing out the rims and then also just getting a few things on it to make it more me, right? So that is a couple of things that I have coming up for it. The other thing you can also expect is that, at the end of the day, I'm going to be driving this around. People will be able to see it. But I also believe that for all of us, I think one of the cool things about driving the future, which is kind of what I like to talk about, is that this is a new experience for all of us. And the cool part is that all of us are experiencing technology meeting automobiles in such a way like never before. So I'm super excited about where we are today, but more importantly, where we're headed. The progress between the 2018 and this car is astounding. I'm super, super glad that I got my hands on the brand new one and I can share it with you. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you learned a little something about the difference in the progress between the 2018 and the 2021. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hey, feel free to give me a share, like, or subscribe. Also, I want to say to you and your family, I hope that all is well and that you all will have a great and happy holidays. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Hey, hold up. Hey, look down there. Yeah, down there. Yep, right there. Yep. Look to the right. Yeah, hit the button.